Hey guys, it's Tim Talks Finance, and today I wanted to tell you exactly how I went from having only $400 in cash and $14,000 in credit card debt, making over seven figures a year, including last year where I made over $151,000 every single month. Now look, I don't tell you this to brag, I'm just hoping to inspire you, because I was inspired along the way. And that's one of the big reasons why I even had just a little bit of success. So I'm hoping what this does is that this will inspire you. Let's just break this down in 3 simple steps. All right, number 1 step, you've got to find out what is your motivation right now. And what do I mean by that? There's 5 different levels of motivation that we all are going through in our life at some point. So the first step is to identify which stage your motivation is in when it comes to working. Now, I'll go over the stages really quick with you and describe a little bit about each one so that you can determine where you're at right now. The first phase is phase 1. Motivation is survival. Okay, survival is food, water, shelter. I remember for me, when it came to food, water, shelter, I worked at McDonald's. Everybody did something that they know where they did an absolutely the worst job that they hated because they had to put food on the table and they needed to survive. So motivation 1 is survival. Once you get past motivation 1 and you're able to make your payments and survive, then all of a sudden your motivation number 2 becomes stuff. I want a new car. I want a new house. I want something really cool looking. I want a new, clothes, whatever it might be. All of a sudden you get to the point where you just have it all, right? Then there becomes a level of motivation within competition. And what I mean is not necessarily just the competition to be better in business. See, I think of business kind of like a car, right? If you go out and you spend all of your money on a new car, and you buy this new car and it's super fancy and everything, but then you go to drive, well, you have no gas money left, especially at $5 a gallon, so the car goes nowhere. Well, with a business, there's a reason why you made the business in the first place, or at least a reason why you committed to doing this right here, trying to make additional money for yourself, trying to improve yourself. There's a reason why you did it. So you got to figure out, what is your competition about? For me, my competition is about being able to open a nonprofit. I know that's one of the things that everybody's like, why a nonprofit? That's what I want. Everybody wants something a little bit different, but that's where I want my competitive level to be. I want to open a nonprofit organization for children that are born with birth defects, and I want it to be as great as the Hershey Foundation. All right, stage 4 is going to be your retirement stage. This is once you've gotten past the competition, once you've blown everybody away, or once you realize that you've met your goals and you're where you want to be in your competition. Now your motivation becomes retirement. Like, do I have enough money to retire? And I'll tell you what, with Social Security these days, it's kind of scary. So that one is sometimes where people get stuck and maybe even never get out of that. If they do manage to get out of that, the very 5th and last one is going to be motivation is going to be to build your legacy. Okay? So, you got to realize what motivation level that you're at. You got to figure out what is it that's going to get you up in the morning every single day. For me, it was to make 40 phone calls that I absolutely didn't want to make, but I had to have some kind of motivation. I needed to figure out where that was. So step 1, figure out where you're at with your motivation level: survival, stuff, competition, retirement, or legacy. All right, step number 2, and I got to tell you, this is one where I really think that everybody needs to do this, but inquire with others about success, if they are where you want to be. Now look, I started by driving into an interview at Scott Toyota and meeting a guy named Joey that drove an NSX when I was driving this stupid little Dodge Neon. When I asked him, how much do you make? He said, I make 10 grand a month. And then he asked me, do you want me to mentor you for a while? It'll cost you 75% of your commission, but I'll help you learn. I said, yes. Okay, so it reminds me of this clip from Wolf of Wall Street. Hey, editor, let's go ahead and roll that clip, please.
Understand how much money you make?
I don't know, 70,000 last month.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm serious.
Yeah, no, I'm serious too. Seriously, how much money you make?
I told you, 70,000. Well, technically 72,000 last month, something like that.
You made 72 grand in 1 month.
Yeah.
I tell you what. You show me a pay stub for $72,000 on it, I quit my job right now and I work for you. Hey, Paulie, what's up? No, yeah, everything's fine. Hey, listen, I quit.
Exactly. Oh, God, I love that clip. So you notice there he decided that right away it wasn't about necessarily the education or somebody telling him that he was going to do or needed to do this or do that. And he saw something that he wanted, went up to the guy and said, hey, how much do you make? If you make that, I'll quit my job and come with you right now. That was my attitude. When Joey said I make 10 grand a month, now look, the guy said he made 72 grand a month. When Joey told me 10 grand a month, I was like, bro, I'm in, let's go. Okay, along the way, I also met a guy named Grant Cardone. Okay, Grant Cardone was a car salesman at the time. He was doing motivational speaking for car salesmen. I'm a car salesman, brand new in the industry, just met with Joey, and he's driving an NSX, and I meet this guy, Grant Cardone. Start talking to Grant for a little bit and find out he's making 50 grand a month teaching me how to sell cars. That's when it hit me. There's so many ways to make money in this world that you don't have to go to school or anything like that. You can literally just go out there and figure out how to do it. So step 3 is going to be follow through and never give up. I can't tell you how many times you can get disappointed with listening to people say how they became rich, famous, especially with these cryptocurrencies. You see a lot of people bragging about, I made $1 million with Shiba Inu. And look, guys, that's all great. That's what I call luck. Okay. Hard work, dedication is what's going to guarantee you success into becoming a millionaire and to achieving your financial goals. Okay. Now keep in mind, there's a difference between giving up and maybe changing and doing something different. Like I said, when I first met Joey, I was selling cars. You top out around 20 grand, maybe 30 grand a month. I think I topped out around 30 grand a month. And then, 2005, 2006, I'm a finance manager at a car dealership and I'm looking at all these applications. And as they're coming in, I'm looking at them going, you're making how much? And you're doing what? So as soon as I saw somebody again making more money than me, I latched on and said, how do you do it? For me, in this particular case, the guy's name was Stan Lund. Walked into his office and sat down with him for 3 hours. 3 hours and said, Stan, how do you become a mortgage broker and what is a mortgage broker? From there, it was history. I'm currently now a mortgage broker. Like I said, last year as a mortgage broker, I made $151,000 a month. That's just one source of income. I also have an Airbnb business. I also have a rental business where I rent out a Can-Am for my Airbnb that we have up north. So there's a ton of different ways. By the way, you're going to want to start off with just one source of income. Don't get overwhelmed with people who tell you that they have 4, 5, 6, or 7 sources of income. That comes in time. Start building with step 1. Once you get that super successful step 1, go to step 2, step 3, whichever other businesses that you want to open and other income streams that you want. Well, find the one that makes you successful right now, but also, most of all, makes you happy. So, in conclusion, just realize there's a big difference between quitting and moving on. Like when I met Grant and he said that he went from selling cars to doing motivational speaking. By the way, now he does real estate. By the way, now I'm doing real estate. So you see, you can follow these guys along the way and you may run into each other again along the way. And I think that's so awesome. So Anyway, guys, I hope that this information was exactly what you were looking for. If it was and you like content like this, hit that little bell notification and the subscribe button and then the little like button or whichever direction that they're in. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later and go check out one of my other videos up here. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye.